Welcome, Aries. It's a beautiful, beautiful month of November 2024. You're going to experience a sense of re-enlivenment, rejuvenation, more fun, more joy, more passion in your life. Thank you, Mars. You're also going to get some superior blessings with Venus in your ninth house, getting it in touch with the meaning of your life, the sense of being on your purpose and in your dharma or in your alignment with reality. And you also get some supreme beautiful help from Venus and Mercury to elevate you in the career and reputation part of your life. Your visible actions in the world are producing very fortunate and successful outcomes. So think of it as, wow, here comes November. Watch my career shift to higher levels of success. So keep that in mind. It's a nice transit for you. We'll be diving into what Mercury and Venus are doing to help you in what I've just described. Now, one thing I want to note here is that you're definitely looking at a sense of coming home to a deeper sense of one's dharma or purpose. That's going to be a big theme this month, where you're saying, well, I'm not just going to chase worldly success. I need to feel like the success is in alignment with my truest being. So let's break it down for you. And before we talk about this month, and I can relate, I have an Aries sun and moon. You can listen for your sun. It can be career and purpose oriented, your moon, your body, your home, your safety, your emotions. But of course, your rising sign is often everything about who you are in the game of life. Listen for all three, and over time, you'll see which ones are most useful. I'm only sharing one thing for this month ahead. I'm sharing the fact that I have a extension of my sale that I'm going to allow to happen. People have asked me to extend it, so I will, till November 15th. And that is my pre-sale for 2025 videos, one for each sign. Each is 2 hours long, up to 2 hours long, includes a PDF guidebook. Or you can get the bundle. That's all 12 signs, share with friends and family. And this pre-sale pricing does not come back again. I will deliver this content to you, and it'll never be on YouTube, on November 17th by email. These private downloadable videos and rewatchable videos and audio files are yours to keep. It never goes on YouTube because it is my fundraiser for how I buy ring lights and new computers and microphones and hire time stampers and other people to help me create this channel and help it grow. So if you need or want to participate, please do. There's no need, but if you want to, grab that. It's in the description links below. I think I'm having about a really good year for that. About 350 people have already grabbed it. So go ahead and get it. Now, I'm recording for you guys on, October 17th. And my Patreon community gets this early access ad-free. And that's another option. You can join me in my more private community and get this stuff way ahead of the public. Now, let's get going. All right. So I want to talk first about Mars. He's the Lord of your sign. He's the number one planet for you. And he is moving into the sign of Leo. And when he goes into Leo, you are going to love it, and he will benefit you greatly. It will feel good for you. Your competitive instincts, because Leo is your fifth house, your sense of fun, joy, passion, and pleasure are on the rise. Mars in Leo favors you, and he'll be in Leo until early November or in early January because of a retrograde. So you're going to have 2 months of him in the fiery place of your fifth house. It's definitely good for more pleasure and romance, but it's also good for your instinct to be a fighter for what you want to create in life and what you want to do entrepreneurially. And it fires up a lot of energy with you and children as well. So keep that in mind. And we'll talk more about that as we move towards my all signs and my weeklies, but you might have a lot more fun and more engagement with your own kids, or some of your kids might be moving out of the house even, but in a positive way if you have kids at home still nesting. So we do see that Mars transit being very important, and it begins November the 2nd, and you'll benefit greatly from that. And so get ready for that uplift for your fun and joy and pleasure and creativity, etc., and competitive spirit. And what else is going on in the sky? Well, Venus, the goddess of love and beauty and pleasure, is making her moves as well. Until about Remembrance Day, November the 11th, Venus is moving through the fire sign of Sag. It kind of gives you a nice little overlap, right? A little sweet window of time where Mars in your fiery fifth house is flowing to Venus in your ninth house. So we'll go from like the sort of about November the 6th when Mars enters Leo. I hope I said the 6th. I repeat, if I didn't, I meant November 6th. Mars enters Leo to November the 11th. That window of time is really beautiful. You could have some really big luck happen because Venus is in a Lakshmi luck house and Mars is in the house of competition. You might win something, or you just have a really good time. Things are going your way. It's really good for short distance or long distance travel as well, with pleasure and fun and maybe romance involved. Okay. And that would be your like, okay, I'll take it. November the 6th to November the 11th. Did I even introduce myself? I'm Lori Lothian. I'm the Western Tropical Zodiac astrologer and using whole sign houses, fixed stars, and minor asteroids. And now when we move forward into the story, Venus leaves the sign of Sagittarius and begins to travel through Capricorn. And that's going to benefit your career and reputation between November 11th and December 7th. Raises, promotions, luck up there, fun up there, people looking up to you, bosses loving you. It's just a career and reputation space glow up between November the 11th and December the 7th. But what I like also is that when she's up here in Capricorn, right? She's industrious. She's a boss babe, and you might get your boss babe shoulder pads and epaulets going, and you're just really on your game. You are like boss babing, whether you're man or woman, your career space, and you're really getting a lot of benefit and sort of collateral love into the career space from Lord Venus. Now, next, you're going to notice that we see Mercury, the messenger of the gods, moving into a very prolonged and long stay in your ninth house. Indeed, Mercury gets into your Sagittarius ninth house on November the 7th and does not leave until January the 8th. Is that insane? That's because he's in an elemental fire year, and this involves a retrogradation, and he will retrograde around 22 Sag on November 26th. And I'll do a big deep dive video on things, but it indicates there's a lot going on for you in the ninth house of foreign lands, visas, travel, book publishing, writing projects that would be published, podcasting projects could be ninth house, things that you wish to do legally involving courts and visas and legal matters, things that are connected to a third marriage environment. Mercury is busy up there for a heck of a long time. I mean, November 2nd to January the 8th. It means you're going to go back and forth over old ground. You're going to change your mind about things. You're going to move in new directions. You're going to pivot. Like if I was using me, I've got a book proposal I'm supposed to write. Like seriously, I haven't had the time. That's probably me writing it and then revising it and going back and forth, maybe getting a publishing deal out of it. So look for November the 2nd to January 8th to have a lot of ninth house focus. And the deepest layer of the ninth house, the house of God, is the house of meaning of one's life. The wisdom, knowledge, and meaning is there. And Mercury is helping you find the answers to those sorts of dharmic, purpose-driven life questions. Okay. Now, we moved out away from the planetary placements, the general themes of where the planets that are moving around are going, because other planets are still where they were last month. Let's break this down. You might want to get a pen or a paper of some sort in order to remember what I'm about to tell you. Last month, I tried to show you the sky while I did this. I will do that. And people say, well, why aren't you turning the wheel? I cannot turn the wheel because I will end up moving the ascendant all the time. I can't turn the wheel. So just know that this is the general template of the sky. You're looking at it here. Now, you Aries, of course, here are going to experience the following things in chronological order throughout the month. On November the 1st through to the 6th, but with an emphasis on the 1st to the 3rd, we will see Mars at the very end of Cancer, okay, opposite Pluto. And that's the one I want to focus on because Mars is opposite Pluto in a much longer time frame, especially through to the 6th or 7th of the month. But this is the one that is within the sign boundaries of Cancer, Capricorn. It's an authentic opposition. Look to November 1st to the 4th for some kind of intense confrontational energy or difficult energy as it applies to your career and home-based matters. You're literally coming to some crisis, pivotal turning point energy. We're going to call a pivotal turning point. It feels true. And this pivotal turning point, November 1st to the 3rd, is about action and decisions regarding home versus career matters. Okay, that's the full on energetic signature here. And you're going to make a pivot with support in some way from Uranus in the second house of earnings. And so this is going to be about some kind of financial, potentially surprise that allows you to move your home, change your home, make a situation more beneficial for you as it applies to career and home matters. Some of you may leave your home, change your home, decide on a new home. Okay, those kinds of things, or just make a major life change regarding career versus home life patterns. And it also matters that Uranus wants to chime in and say, and by the way, here's some positive money surprises from your career and home matters that allow for an existential shift of direction here. Now, also, you're having a beautiful grand trine opening up in the sky as well. And this is going to be November the 3rd, 1st to the 3rd. And that is formed by Mercury moving through Scorpio, flowing to Mars. Still, Mars will still be back here just as before he crosses over. For you, I will take us back, like backward here, all right? We'll go back. Oh, yeah, back a day, okay, or two. So this is the water trine that I'm pointing to that shows up around November the 1st, 2nd into the 3rd. And that's kind of like that Mars sweet spot here, November 1st to the 3rd, Mars flowing from the 4th house of homeland and real estate and property to Mercury in the house of chunky money. Well, what's to complain about? To dreams come true, Neptune. Beautiful water trine forming for you in the sky. It looks like a financial breakthrough to do with homeland and property or good financial news. A lot of it coming off of a karmic and dharmic element, almost a magical financial movement in your sky in the first 3 days of the month of November that also lends itself to something positive is trying to happen when it comes to your long range money that you share with a partner, an inheritance. It could involve money that comes in a more sizable chunk of some sort. Okay. Now, on November the 3rd and the 4th, Venus will oppose Jupiter while the sun is trining Saturn. Well, Venus herself being a benefic and opposing Jupiter isn't the end of the world, but this is like a planetary fight they're having. You know, Venus is saying, I am just wanting you to be lusciously prosperous in the Lakshmi house of foreign lands, foreign shores, and third marriages and legal matters. And yet she's in courts and justices. And yet she's opposite the god of justice himself, Jupiter, in his detriment. I guess I'm going to say it's a bit of a mixed bag. Yes, it's good, but not great. There's some kind of positive developments around November 3rd and 4th. Foreign shores, neighborhood events, brick and mortar businesses, things to do with short distance travel, things to do with academics. So travel and learning environment stories are really showing you there's some kind of opposition that you need to reconcile. The good news is Chiron gets into the mix in a wedge, and Chiron says, we've got this, we're going to make it a wholesome healing, a good outcome in my identity as an Aries, in your identity, for something that must be resolved in the 9th house, 3rd house matters. Again, travel, it could be sibling relationships, it could be things to do with your local neighborhood and neighbors. It's really an interesting one for you guys. All said and done, with Venus trining you as a general principle and that Chironic wound, it feels good for you. Moving forward, November the 9th, Venus is squaring Neptune. Oh my goodness. No, Venus squares Neptune. You've got to be kidding me. This is like, where is there an illusion or some kind of dreamy thing that you desired or wanted or imagined could be true, that you have to sort of dust it off and see that there's some mold underneath the surface. Something's not quite right here. And it's about those visas, those passports, those court and legal matters, those travel opportunities. It may involve some backroom deals and negotiations. It may be some kind of disenchantment with something Neptunian in your 12th house, disenchantment with a situation on legal fronts, travel fronts, book publishing deal fronts, some kind of I know I'm seeing what's really there, a disenchantment vibe for sure. On November and I wanted to mention that we have a new moon, and I forgot to mention on November 1st as well. And the new moon is happening in Scorpio. It's just new beginnings in your long range finances. It runs over 6 months that follow, but you're having a new beginning, a fresh start in how you handle that bank loan, mortgages, credit cards, money you share with your spouse, money you have from inheritance, money that you win in a chunk, whatever, royalty income. New beginnings and generating those kinds of monies is coming through the sky. New moon, it's at 9 Scorpio. It's happening on November 1st. Okay. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Now, as we go through the sky, again, we're talking about another difficult aspect pattern called a square. Again, just like Venus is squaring Neptune on November 9th, now Mercury's squaring Saturn. Oh, right. Well, Saturn is like retrograde, but he's now direct by then. So you've got, is he direct by then? I better double check. I'm going to end up losing this guy, I'm sure of it. But anyway, we're on November the 12th. He's still retrograde. Yeah, till the 15th, I think. So we have a movement here of Saturn suggesting to you that you have in a square from Mercury in your 9th house a pivotal decision or action you must take, but decisions and ideas and conversations and phone calls and emails, things that Mercury wants to give you to ponder, are very much on your radar. And you have to take some significant action to do with visas, passports, legal and court matters, book publishing deals and contracts, things to do with travel planning or travel bookings or something like that. And again, we're looking at November the 12th, and Saturn is really moving slowly. He's about to station direct. So Saturn might be like very reasonable and very stern and very realistic about what is possible. So you're making some very stern, realistic decisions. And because the 12th house is far off foreign shores, and so is the 9th, a lot of this for some of you can, if it's not about academic choices and schools and signing up for a school abroad or something, you're really looking at decisions and actions that connect you to travel opportunities or plans around November the 12th. On November the 16th through to the 19th, we're going to see that the sun will be opposite Uranus. Now, that sun is opposite Uranus. You see that already, right, on the 12th, but it'll be very exact. And that's money surprises. There's no doubt about it. The 16th and 19th, surprise. You've got something you didn't expect. It connects you to your bank loans and mortgages, your inheritance monies, and all kinds of ways that money can show up that you don't earn directly. And Uranus is, whoa, there's a surprise. But you've got a solar light in the 8th house. So you're seeing something as well that may surprise you about these kinds of monies. It's not good nor bad. It just is what it is. It may just be a shock or an unexpected development. Well, the surprise is being downloaded by you financially. You'll notice that the sun is trining Neptune. And that looks to me like that's a saving grace in a way. Neptune sun, I mean, maybe money you generate from far off foreign shores or backroom deals and negotiations with bankers and lawyers, or some kind of a money situation to do with foreign lands and shores, including the possibility of money generated through international digital income, has a positive thing going on around November 16th. So there's a bit of a wedge here. And that says to me that Neptune smooths out the difficult energies and tries to bring something dreamy, financial surprises come true, maybe November 16th to the 19th. But Mercury also opposite Mercury, and the sign of his detriment opposite Jupiter in a mutual reception isn't too shabby. This is happening again, November 16th to the 19th. And Jupiter is like, I got some bounty. I've got some things from your past. It could be very luscious for you to do with your travels, your neighbors, your neighborhood, your online and social media world. And Jupiter has something good to offer, even in detriment. And Mercury is in Jupiter's sign and vice versa. They have a hotline to each other. Could be like, if I'm using me, I got a word from my agent that I've got a book offer already, from a contract offer or something, from a book proposal. That would be a classic example. And I'm talking about me because I'm an Aries sun and I can relate. But whatever it is, it's like there's something kind of happening here that Mercury wants you to seize the day, basically. Seize the day. Travel, visas, passport, book publications, third marriage travels, things to do with legal and court matters working out finally in your behalf, sealing the deal, finalizing something, and it works out very well because of that mutual reception. Again, November 16th to the 19th. we're going to feel a full moon around the 15th, 16th as well in the sign of Taurus, completing financial matters, ending financial stories that have been ongoing for you, completing not just on November 15th, 16th, full moon, full light completion, 24 Taurus, right? Close to Algol, completing things to do with calamitous things to do with your finances as well. And over the 6 months that follow, there's a sense of fullness here and completion and reward. Now, on November the 21 to the 22, around that time, we're going to see Venus give some sweet signals, some winky nods, or whatever you want to call it, some love signals from Capricorn, where she's in your 10th house, to Saturn in your 12th. Well, certainly knowing that Venus is bringing it on, all the good stuff that she has to offer in your 10th house. And what you get with this, the wink and nod to Saturn, now direct, okay, in your 12th. It's going to be a good thing for you if you are, I'm just changing my notes here, if you are someone like me who makes money overseas, borderless income and long distance revenue. So anyone who makes online kind of digital sales money or works for an international company, a sweet little glow up November 21 to 22. Otherwise, it can also be a job offer from a foreign place, backroom deals and negotiations that give you raises or promotions in a workspace. It's going to benefit you from things you're doing home alone, like, in your creative downtime and solitude, that can give you a career glow up November 21 to the 22. The sun is also sextiling Pluto. This is a sweet sky spot. This is an oasis in November of goodness. And when the sun is sextiling Pluto, this is also going to offer up some goodness during November 21, 22 towards your career, power, authority, riches of your career. And what am I saying? Am I saying it right? My brain come back online. The sun, I'm going to say that. It's not what I said it is. That's why I need to progress the chart. I forgot. Pluto's now moved forward as of November the 19th. Oh, yeah. So we have Pluto moving on. I'm apologizing, guys. Seeing I lose the sky, but we will have Pluto now having stepped, of course, forward into, okay, so sun, yeah, there we have it. Just pretend this is not what you're seeing. This is what happens when I try to do astrology for the first sign on all signs. I'm like, my brain is not working. So the sun is talking to Pluto from this part of the sky here, Sagittarius. So 0 Sag, 9th house, book publishing, publishing deals, foreign lands and travels, Pluto, power, wealth, people who are wealthy and powerful being allies and benefactors, or some glow up in your career gains and success, okay? Happening for you as well, November 21 to 22, connected to the matters of the 9th house, which I've outlined 100 times. And that also includes courts and legal matters, education and publishing. Oh, all right, November the 26th to the 27th, we're going to see that the sun trines Mars. This is not too bad as well. I'm just going to fix my notes only for you guys. You always get to go first. Now I'm going to remember where everybody is. Yes, Pluto has moved into Aquarius. Woohoo! And the sun is in Sag. Now we're moving forward to November the 26th to the 27th, sun trines Mars. Mars is the lord of your sky. You say thank you. Thank you, sun. Thank you, Mars. Direct 26th, 27th. And he's moving, through the sign of Leo in your 5th house of winning, of competition, of luck, of play, of fun and pleasure. And the sun is flowing from the 9th house. This is either a dreamy opportunity to travel somewhere with somebody that you're in a romantic relationship with, November 26th, 27th, and it's going to be very good for your passion. Or it's a career or creative project opportunity that's really paying off for you at this time, because the sun is saying, I've got the light in the house of God, in the house of my joy. That's where the sun will be, in your 9th house. And so you're going to have a very strong glow up if you are someone who does something in publishing, podcasting, somebody 9th house stuff, serial podcasting, or more than one thing, perhaps. Things to do with your 9th house can involve a spiritual enlivenment, a long distance trip, and maybe a sense of like winning the day. Competitive Mars wins in a competition, wins in something he's trying to do in your entrepreneurial and creative endeavors, and it shows up as a beautiful, lucky Lakshmi moment, November 26th and 27th. Certainly good for winning in court cases, certainly good for completing or positive developments and publications, getting accepted in a favorite school, and you had to compete for the spot, that kind of stuff. Now, the other thing I want to mention is we have a very weird end of the month moon as well at 9 degrees of Sagittarius. It is a new moon on November the 30th. We actually have 3 lunations in the calendar month. So on November 30th at 9 Sag, a new beginning is starting in the house of teaching, universities, publishing, and travel. Over the 6 months that follow, there is a reset button there, especially if you have placements near 9 Sag. Those placements are getting activated. Thank you for being the guinea pig for the month ahead, knowing that I'm doing your sign. Got weird light. I'm doing your sign when you're the first to go, and I'm recording on November 17th. Don't forget to check out that all the things about me, my courses, and the 2025 bundle, all the stuff about my channel, about me, about getting a reading with me or getting on the wait list is in the description box under the video. Thank you, Aries. Help me reach 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year by subscribing, by liking, and hitting the notification bell. Thanks a lot.